Hey, what's up, guys? Ben from My Sports Step here with Richie Donnell. Today, our scouting report is on Solomon Thomas from Stanford, probably the best defender in the Pac-12 last year. Now he's bringing his talents to the NFL.
Yeah, this is probably the fastest rising guy at the position, somebody who wasn't really talked a lot about at the beginning of the year, but has solidified himself maybe as a top 10, prospect, even though he's number 3 on my list at his position, still a top 10 possible pick here,
right?
Just based on talent.
Yeah. Now he's 6'3", 273, and looking at him, he doesn't look like that because he plays so much bigger than his actual measurables.
Yeah. Two games that really stuck out against Colorado and Notre Dame. That's kind of when his climb really started. In those two games alone, he ended up tallying 18 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. That's when the climb started. And like you said, because of his size, I don't necessarily see the versatility of somebody moving him inside. I don't necessarily see him at outside linebacker either. I think his best position is as a 4-3 hand-in-the-dirt defensive end and just letting him wreak havoc.
But you can't deny that he played multiple positions at Stanford. Whether it was defensive tackle, defensive end, outside linebacker, he played everywhere, and that certainly got to benefit him.
No, definitely, and his ability to transition to that outside linebacker is going to come with his pursuit and his hustle. 4 fumble recoveries, which is a lot for a defensive end. Because he doesn't stop when the ball gets passed.
He's got excellent pursuit.
He's chasing the ball down the field, still trying to make plays, because that touchdown could be the deciding factor. He plays every play as if it's his last, and that's something that's going to be beneficial to him. Just because I said that the 4-3 DN spot's the best for him doesn't mean that a team can't move him and won't get a lot out of him. This kid's just really talented and can do it all. I just think that for hand in the dirt is the best projection for him.
Well, let's talk NFL comparisons. Who do you got?
Yeah, I have him as Charles Johnson from Carolina Panthers. I think somebody that, kind of the same way, wasn't really known and then kind of flew up, and then all of a sudden he ended up in Carolina and just tore it up. And then, over the last couple of years, he's just been their main guy that everybody has seemed to focus on. Similar size, I think, with that pursuit and the hustle. He's a gritty player, very similar to Charles Johnson as well, and I think he's a guy that can reach those double-digit sacks and be a guy who kind of changes the future of a defense line, much like Charles Johnson did before Carolina added all that other talent to the defensive line.
Yeah, I have them compared to Justin Tuck, and because when Michael Strahan and O.C. Omiora was still in the Giants, they had Justin Tuck, but because they already had 2 starting defensive ends, they moved him all over the place, like Solomon Thomas. They moved him at defensive tackle. They saw him at linebacker. And in all these crazy positions, he had one of his best games in that first Super Bowl against the Patriots. But then once he did become their starting defensive end, he exploded and was a double-digit sack guy. And I think Solomon Thomas could have a very similar career path.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like you said, the kid's athletic. We saw that at the combine. That he can move around if need be, and I think if he does come into the NFL with a team that does have 2 starters, that he could be a guy that you use in certain packages and use that athleticism and versatility to get plays for him. But I think he's a guy who could come in and start right away as well.
All right, so where do you think he's going to end up falling?
Yeah, I think you got to start top 10. I think he's just shown enough that he could end up in that 10 range. It's going to be based on what happens, obviously, at the top and go from there. But I don't think you see him last past 15.
Okay, and I think he's going to be a top 10 pick. I think possibly even top 5. I think Jacksonville in that top 5, I think is a really intriguing spot for him because I think he could play really well there, especially with the resurgence of young guys like Jalen Ramsey, Fowler, guys like that. But overall, I think Solomon Thomas is going to be a guy in that conversation with Myles Garrett and Jonathan Allen as just becoming great football players.
If you see Myles Garrett go 1 and Jonathan Allen go 2 or 3, don't be shocked if Thomas is 4 or 5 or
and there's
6.
been conversations even number 2 with San Francisco. So anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go to our website, mysportstop.com, for more original videos.